What's going on? My name's Robert, and you are watching Southpaw Autoworks.
Okay, so on our old Fairlane here, part of the ugly part of it was the fact that we're going to need a new right front fender and a right rear quarter. And what we've done is we've located those parts. We want to show those to you and let you know what we're going to do next. We've located some parts for the car. We needed the front fender. We got one right here. Just so happens it's still attached to another car. What Andy's done is he's purchased the entire car, ended up being cheaper to get that. So we've got our replacement right front fender, we've got our trim piece, and we've got our rear quarter back here that's in much better shape than what we had before. So what we've decided to do here is keep this car. We're going to actually transfer the engine and the trans and the differential out of the first car into this one and make this our driver. This will come with a clean title where the first one had a salvage title, make it a more valuable car, and then maybe at some point that becomes a second project car. But I think this is going to work out good. The entire body on it is fairly straight. It's got the same basic patina as the other one. So I think that's what we're going to go with. The interior is pretty rough, so we'll swap that too. Take the interior out of the other car, put it in here, just do a complete changeover, and we'll make this our cruiser.
The second Fairlane is currently living on jack stands as it was delivered missing the front wheels and the rear axle.
So taking a look at the second car here, this is the one we're going to put the engine, trans, differential and everything out of the first car into. Looks like somebody's already kind of cleaned up the engine compartment as far as the grease and so forth. They've painted it black, but it's been sitting. It's kind of dirty. We've still got a transmission in it, so I think we'll just stay with that one rather than take the one out of the first car. It's still got the linkage hooked up to the shifter on the column. Like I said, we'll take that 289 out, put it in here. We're going to do you a episode on the engine while we've got it out. We're going to go ahead and put it on an engine stand. We're going to pull the oil pan, the timing cover, take a look at the timing chain, probably freshen that up and give you a little episode on that and just show you what's going on there. Make sure it's in good shape before we drop it in here. And anything else that we need, like I mentioned, the carburetor kit, we need to do that, rebuild the carburetor because that's leaking. So we'll give you all the updates on that as we go along. So car number one, we've already got jacked up high enough here. Mentioned we're going to switch out the differential from this car to the second car. I've already got U-bolts soaking and unbolted there, some rust stuff on there. I've got the drive shaft disconnected. I've got the brake drums off. We've got to disconnect the emergency brake cable because it wraps around part of the exhaust system and it's just a one-piece loop. So we're going to have to pull the rear brake shoes and disconnect that brake cable to get that differential out. But we'll film that for you, show you how that's done. And we'll also be showing you swapping this differential into the other car. The other car already has the leaf springs on it. So we'll leave these leaf springs in place, lift the differential, go right to the other car. Disconnect brake lines, of course, re-bleed and set that up. And if there's any other brake work done, we'll do that at that time.
Now, this was a bit of a balancing act. I had a heck of a time getting that bottom plate to align with the U-bolts. Andy tells me that you gotta hold your mouth just right in order to get that plate and those bolts to go together. We jacked up the rear axle so we could sneak the impact gun underneath it and tighten up the U-bolts. We bolted up the gas shocks that were already partially installed in the second Fairlane. However, the first Fairlane happens to be equipped with some aftermarket air shocks. It would be really cool to swap those out in a future video. In addition to missing all of the wheels and the rear axle, the second Fairlane was also missing a number of steering components. Now that the Fairlane has wheels and steering, we were able to jockey some vehicles around and ultimately put the car in the shop. Thank you for joining us on this episode. If you enjoyed this video, let us know by hitting that like button. We would love to hear from you. Drop us a line in the comments section down below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. If you're interested in helping this YouTube channel grow, there are a number of ways that you can get involved. Thank you and catch you next time.